All right, guys. So I want you guys to think about a scenario. Just imagine this, right? You are an 18-year-old kid. You know, you get it in there. You're nervous. You finally walked up the nerves. You walked up your nerves. You walked up to this girl that you really liked, and you said, you walked up there. You go, hi, and she goes, excuse me, and he's like, you're like, well, hi. I've been seeing you from here, you know, and I thought you were really cute, and I just wanted to come talk to you and say hi. My name is Frank. And then you just freeze up, and she goes, okay, Frank, can I help you? You're like, well, I want to get to know you better. I watched this line on YouTube and they said this was going to work. So this is my pickup line. Now, would you like to go with me on a date? And she's like, oh my God, fine. Okay, Frank, that's fine. I'll go with you on a date. And you're like, so do you mind if please can I excuse me, do you mind if I get your phone number, or you can text me or smoke signal or Instagram or Snapchat, which you want? And she's like, all right, fine, here's my phone number. You're like, all right, fine. Oh yeah. And you're like, um okay, thank you, I'll text you. And you run to your friends like, oh my God, she just gave me a number, oh my God. And you're like, whoa, bro, you talked to a girl. You're like, oh yes, I did. And you're like, oh my God, oh whoa, 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 was I going crazy? And you throw a party like and then you couldn't sleep and you're like, should I text her today? Should I text her today? Is it too soon? You watch a YouTube videos. Do not text her within 12 hours. You have to wait one full day. And then you're like, okay, it's been a day. It's been a day. I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna text her. Okay, 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 okay. And you muster up the courage and you text her. You go, ding. And then 5 hours later, nothing. 6 hours go by, nothing. And you're like, okay. And then you go, what to do when a girl has not texted you? And then you watch a video. Do not double text. Do not double text. And you're like, okay, oh my God, okay. Should I apologize to her for saying good morning? I should probably apologize to her. I should probably tell her I'm sorry for saying good morning. I should probably just tell her I'm sorry. But she finally responds and go, hey, what's up? You're that weirdo I spoke to. You're like, oh my God, she remembered me. And then, you talk and, you use Chat GPT and you set a date. And finally, you think about it. You're like, oh my God, where am I going to take her to? She's so gorgeous. She's so beautiful. Oh my God, I got to take her somewhere. Oh yeah, where do I take it to? And then you look at the finest restaurant. You're like, ooh, can't afford that. And then you look at another restaurant. You're like, ooh, can't afford that. And then finally, ooh, Cheesecake Factory. Oh, I'm gonna take her to Cheesecake Factory. And then you just take her to the Cheesecake Factory. And then, ooh, what happened next? And then,
This woman went.
and then what happens next? No one will believe it. All right. You guys are going to want to watch this video. And before I go ahead and get started in this video, I want you guys to just go ahead and do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and follow for Spotify as well. What I want to talk to you guys, we're going to watch this video. This is kind of hilarious. So, this is a girl from Cheesecake. This was a girl. This was a date. This guy took her out on this date, and they went to because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give you some. So he took her to Cheesecake Factory, and I'm gonna share you with you guys one of the craziest places that I've gone to on a first date. Craziest places, right? I'm gonna tell you guys one of the funniest first date experience I ever had. So go ahead and comment below and say, Manuel, I want to know. Hit the like button. If you don't like the video, if you want me to tell you guys, like the video, all right? But we're going to go ahead and dive into this, and I want you guys to watch this. And you probably already seen this by now because this video has been going viral all over TikTok, all over the gram, all over social media. But let's go ahead and dive into it.
Just get the door for you. Okay. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car.
So at this point, she locked the door, so she's refusing to get out. She locked the door.
Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Look.
Are you're recording me?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
First off, I'm curious how this date even went about. I'm very curious as to how this even came about. I'm curious as to the conversation. I want to see text messages. I want to see, what did he say? What did she say? Because I'm just the vibes I'm getting from the conversation seems like there's a lot of like he doesn't know who's on a date with and she doesn't know who she's on a date with. There's a lot of miscommunications going on in there. I'm just kind of curious, right, guys? But we're gonna go ahead and continue watching this, okay? Because this gets good.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Oh, okay.
So,
So yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk
You-
about it.
so you expect a man to go all out on the first date? Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to look at. I mean, when you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted, so you're courting her, right? You're supposed.
And keep watching, guys. I'm gonna give you guys my opinion on what I think you should spend on a first date, what I think you should do on a first date. Now, this is just an advice out. What I give is a personal opinion. So let's go ahead and continue listening to this.
To take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah. And
That's what
and
you're
I
supposed to do.
I agree.
Not at-
I
at the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory.
date as I expect, with the expectations for myself to keep you safe,
Mhm.
you know, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course,
Mhm.
and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean,
And-
you've been pretty
and then-
nice, but I mean,
And then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be
Understood.
respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative,
Mhm.
and at least
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
well, I mean, like even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't know
and
you.
I
Yeah.
can respect that. I can respect that.
Okay.
When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. Just, we're not
Again,
maybe
I don't
we're
know
not there.
you yet.
Okay,
I don't know you yet.
and then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
but
I
mean,
got myself
there's
all made
nothing
up.
wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well look at
Now, first off, guys, I'll be frankly honest with you. This is probably going to come as a shocker to a lot of people. I personally have not been to the Cheesecake Factory. Just full transparency. I don't think I have actually been to a Cheesecake Factory. Why? Because the name is Cheesecake, Cheesecake Factory. I don't need cake, so I can't go to the Cheesecake Factory. So I'm kind of perplexed here. She's telling him, she's like, I'm not gonna get out and go into a Cheesecake Factory because this is beneath me. This is beneath me. Now, is she in the right? She's in the wrong. I'm curious what you guys think, and that's what I say. I'm gonna put the banner right now. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. You know, if you're a woman watching this, would you actually go into a Cheesecake Factory? Would you react the same way and go into a Cheesecake Factory? Is Cheesecake Factory a terrible place to go on a date? Is it such a bad, horrendous, such a tragic place to go on a date? Right? So is it? Because I'm actually gonna tell you guys where I went on one of my first dates. I'll probably say was by far a very interesting one. So you're definitely going to keep watching, guys. But I want to go ahead and we're going to stop at some point, but let's go ahead and continue watching this video because this is good. This is good. This is good. All right. It gets good. It gets good.
I mean,
look at my plan where we were gonna go originally.
see, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him.
See-
Call him.
No,
What do you mean no?
see,
I know
I
you
specifically
didn't.
told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 a.m. at 4 p.m.
Mm.
And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs
I
for an hour.
First rule, guys. First rule: if you're going on a date, I'm gonna tell you guys this: if you're ever gonna go on a first date and you want to make it, I would personally just saying not make reservations for the first date because usually on the first date she will be late. I'm just saying, just flat out, it's got to be like, hey, you know, if it's supposed to be pick up at 5 p.m., some women aren't. Some women actually are on time. I'd say my girlfriend was on time, relatively by plus one's 15 minutes. But some women actually will be late. So I don't recommend making reservations on the first date until you get to know this individual because you need to get to know this individual. Are they somebody who is an on-time individual, or just somebody who in which they, on time for them is 40 minutes, on time for them is an hour. So you got to basically assess. Don't make reservations and make this restaurant lose money. Once you get to know somebody, once you guys are probably still in the cusp of getting to understand your relationship, then a first date probably a reservation to a nice suave restaurant makes sense. But in the beginning, I wouldn't say do a reservation restaurant, because the reality is this is I'm going to say this. I don't believe in ever going on a date with the intention of impressing anybody, man or woman, doesn't matter who, both sides. Your job is not to impress, your job is to understand. Okay, it's not to go on a date and say, oh my God, I hope she likes me, oh my God, she's the love of my life. No, you don't know who this individual is. You probably don't. They're probably like a Jeffrey Dahmer. You don't know. You don't know who this person is. So for you to be going and say, you know what, I want to impress them, it's not something that's a wrong frame of mind. You should be going, hey, I want to get to know this person. Because imagine you went to an interview, a job interview, not saying a date, it's a job interview, but but it kind of is like a job interview. Because I'm going to tell you this: when you go on a date as an individual, as a man, most women are looking to screen you out. Because if you've ever looked at the DM of a decently attractive woman, she's actually got dudes in the DMs. Okay, because if you think, oh, you're the only one in the DMs, put on a clown outfit, but you're not the only one in the DM. So, which means she's going to screen you out to say, you know what? Are you that guy that she can walk all over? Are you that dude? Are you that guy? Yeah. To see if there's an ick, right? If the vibes, because it's all about the vibes. It's the vibes. So go and see if you pass the vibe check. And if not, you're probably like, oh yeah, I had a really fun time. She's like, oh, me too. And then you try to call in like, the number you're trying to call have been disconnected. And then boom, next thing you've been blocked. And you're like, what happened? Why? The date went so well, but deep down I'm actually like, oh my God, this is so gross. Oh, what does it think he is? And then you take it to the restaurant, like, oh my God, this is such a, you spent $300, $400. And yeah, no, that doesn't work out. So I'm going to tell you guys where I think you should go on a first date. And I'm going to tell you guys people who I believe should not be going on a first date. Should not. Absolutely under no circumstance should you be going on a first date. Okay? But let's go ahead and finish this video real quick.
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late. And like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment. And that is not possible.
And that's why I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice, fancy restaurant as Aria. Especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do. I would have been,
okay.
But if we're late, I told you twice.
It wasn't that late.
We literally left your place at the time the reservation was supposed to be. And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot. Waiting for a reservation.
We can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, like, the equivalent to that?
I
you
literally
don't
said,
understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
There's nothing wrong
I will die.
She said she
That's
was dying. She went to
embarrassing.
Cheesecake Factory. This is funny.
As I said, I have very specific certain expectations for that.
No.
I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm up.
So you just want to call it a night?
Yeah.
Isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I'm sorry, y'all.
He just
But
pulled out of the parking space.
if I don't feel
Can you
respected,
see?
I am not gonna go through with the rest of the day.
Well, you are serious. You really leaving?
Yeah, you didn't want this place anyway, right?
I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise. Are you sure you want to go home?
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already said them, and you've broken every one.
Oh
So
my God.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off.
All right, whatever. Well, I guess I understand. You got to do what you got to do. I understand where you're.
I'm gonna stop the video there because honestly, just watching the
Okay, so now I'm gonna give my take on this. All right, so first thing first, a little breakdown. Um, an element of mystery is needed in the sense is to, you go on the first date. She's got to be like, you got to be this mysterious guy. She can't know where she's going. You can't know where the first date is. You know, you go on a first date, and she's like, oh my god, what do I wear? Where are we going? The simple thing is to, if you're going on the first date, you can be like, hey, it's a casual thing. It's just, regular jeans, shirt, whatever it is. Now, let me first start off with individuals that should not be going on a first date. Take note. If you are broke, when I mean you're broke, if you cannot rub two quarters together, you should not be going on a first date. What you need to be doing is you need to be making friends, not going date, and you need to be making money. Go get your money right first before you go in and go on a first date. Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys the most horrendous, one of the most horrible, terrible dates I ever went on. And the reason why this date was bad was because I was so broke. Okay. Now I remember she was a CNA at the time, and she made more money. I was making, I think I wasn't even, I don't think I was even working at the time. I was still pretty much in college, so I didn't really have that much money coming in. So I didn't have any money. And I remember the first date we ever went to. I met her in church. We met in church. She was in a choir in church. Okay, and I remember we went to. I was still a serial dater at the time, which is very interesting. How you can be broke and still have time to date. That's kind of weird. That's an art. But we went on this date, and the date I took her to Taco Bell. Okay. This lady's complaining about Cheesecake Factory. Listen, I'd have taken her to Taco Bell. I'd have borrowed my friend's car, and I'd have taken her to Taco Bell. Listen, if you guys know what Taco Bell is where you go and you eat the tacos that mess up your stomach for the next 3 days. Okay? It's a cleansing system. You go there to get your stomach cleansed. So we did Taco Bell, and actually we ended up dating for a few months, which was actually very interesting. So Taco Bell actually was not a bad date. So she didn't pull a Cheesecake Factory like, oh my God, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Right? So significantly, she made more money than I did at the time because then again, I was a broke college student. So that's what I said. If you're broke, you should not be out there going. You should not be. Okay. If you're an individual who lacks confidence, you should not, because you're going to end up doing the one thing most people do is they end up leading with your wallet and saying, hey, I'm going to go impress this girl. Oh my God, I'm going to impress her. And she's going to see how much that I make. I make, 50 grand a year. Oh yeah. She's going to see I make so much money. The reality is this is when you lead with your wallet, you end up becoming what's called a trick. You end up being that person against taking advantage of. Now, do I believe in a relationship? I believe in a relationship. You should take care of, you should provide, you should protect, you should do the whole 9 yards. But I don't believe you should go into a relationship in the beginning of relationships going, listen, you know how much money I make? You know how much money? You want to see my tax returns? You want to see my credit score? I don't believe that should be it. But that's what is you're communicating when you go on a first date with somebody that you don't know. You don't know who this individual is. You don't know what this person does. You don't know who this person is. And you're like, oh, I'm going to go spend $500 to $1,000 on a first date. And then next thing she's like, well, I'll see if I like you. And you're like, I just spent 2 weeks paycheck on this date. Well, first off, my question for you is, why'd you spend 2 weeks paycheck on this date? Why? Why can't you be more Remember, the first date. I'm going to say this again. Pay attention. If you guys watching this, if you guys watching this, pay attention to this. When you go on a first date, your job on the first date is not to impress. Your job is to understand the individual that you're dealing with, because everybody's unique. Everybody's unique in their approach to life. Everybody's unique in their perceptions of life. But whenever you go and you lead with your wallet, you become a trick. You become an individual in which you just consider that as a wallet, and all they're going to see you as your wallet. When you go on a first date, your job is to go ahead and understand this person. When you go for a job interview, you don't just go. They don't go to the interview and go, oh my God, you know what? We want to impress this guy. We're going to pull off the CEO, CMO, CFO, CTO. Everybody should be out. So we're going to be like, we are a $4 trillion market cap company. We did this. This is how much we did in our revenue. And you're like, okay. You're like, these people crazy. Yeah, they're crazy. Yeah, no. I'm going to go down the street. Right? Or you don't go to the first date and be like, you know what? I'm an expert dancer. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go on my first date to this interview for accountant for this accountant job interview, and I'm gonna play some Michael Jackson, like dun dun to the dun dun to the dun dun to the dun 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 to the dun 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 dun. You've been hit by dun dun. You've been tapped by Now you're not gonna do that, are you? No, you're gonna go to the date and you're gonna go to interview and be like, this is me. Then I'm like, what's your accomplishments? I've done this and this and this and this. Same thing. When you go to the interview and they're like, I would like to offer you the job. Absolutely. Now, just be like, do you have any questions for me? Right. From the interview. You're like, yeah, absolutely. Just want to understand, what's the, what necessarily you guys looking for? Same thing when you go in a relationship on a date. The goal is to understand the premise. If you go on a date with a girl, it's like, hey, what are you looking for? She's like, oh, well, I'm just kind of hanging out and having fun. I'm not really looking for a relationship. So, okay, this is the kind of person you're dealing with. If that's something that you're looking for, then you're probably like, hey, this person does not fit my criteria. Same vice versa. You go like, oh, this person wants a relationship and that's not something you're looking for. You can be like, oh, you know what? That person doesn't fit my criteria. You can communicate that in the beginning to understand if it's someone you want to deal with long term. Not to go and say, I'm going to drop $1,000 and this is the woman of my dreams. I'm going to marry her. Because then again, you're going based off of optical, you're going based off of visual. And what you're communicating to this woman is saying, if a more attractive woman shows up, you would do the same thing for her. Because you don't know where this woman is. It's funny. It's like, when women get catcalled, I grew up with sisters, right? So when you get catcalled and guys like, oh my God, I want to marry you. I will give you the world. I will marry you, give you the world. Listen, whatever you want, I give you the world. And then the next attractive girl comes by. Oh, sis. Oh my God, you are so attractive. Listen, you are the most beautiful woman I have seen today. Oh my God. I am seeing it as you're walking, and I'm like, oh my God, my brain is going. And another girl comes in and he says, oh my God. Oh. Now, tell me if that's the kind of guy that a woman wants to be in a relationship with. Come on now. I'm cooking. Woo! All right. Listen, let's go ahead and continue here, guys. Let's go ahead and continue here because you guys know. Listen, it's getting interesting. We're getting interesting right now. All right. So now, which brings me to, you're probably thinking, man, okay, so you said I shouldn't spend so much money. You say I should work on myself, work on my confidence, improve my individual myself, improve my physique if I go on a first date. But where do I go on a first date? Well, I'll tell you where not to go on a first date. According to this viral list of places to not go, and I'm actually going to give you guys reactions. So probably there was a reaction. This is the list. We're going to pull out the list here. So where to not go on a first date. This is according to this Facebook post that went viral, and people go giving the reaction to it. And this lady actually goes ahead and gives a commentary. And as you guys know, this is TikTok, and in the world of TikTok, anything goes. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
I just need to say thank you. Somebody had to say it. The only thing I forgot to add here was a walk date. I'm so excited to provide my feedback on these locations. Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's. I've seen that in the movies, but I've never been there. Chipotle, unfortunately, do not recommend. Olive Garden, I also seen that in movies. But going to the movies for a first date is just like, do you not have?
I'm gonna say this as well. Movies, I do. I'm gonna dissect the list in a bit. But one thing I would tell you guys too, all right? Because it's my take. Movies is one of the places you should absolutely, under no circumstance, movies, theaters, anything where you're watching somebody else perform, it's a good experience, but it's not something you want to do on a first date. Absolutely no. Reason why? Because remember, the goal is to understand, right? The goal is to understand and be understood. There is no communication when you're in a movie, because if you're talking and you talk to somebody and I'm in that movie theater and you're all talking, I'm like, what y'all doing? Honestly, that's not what I'm going to do, but just got to add some dramatic effect there. Sprinkle the salt in there. But if you are on a first date, you do not want to go to the movies for a first date. Under no circumstance you go to the movie for the first date. Under zero, I will tell you again, under zero circumstance do you go onto the movies on a first date. Listen to me as I'm talking to you right now. Under zero circumstance do you want to go to the movies on a first date. So mark it, ingrain it, that you are not going to the movies on a first date. Okay, now we shall go back to the list. You understand? Now good. The reason why I'm saying that in that accent, because I think you guys will probably understand it better if I say that accent. Or you want me to say in a country accent? On no circumstance do you go on a first date to the movies. No circumstance. Now let's go back into this take, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cover a few takes here, guys. But let's go ahead and take a listen to this.
Have anything to say. You gotta sit in silence for like 2 hours. So dumb. Your house, convenient.
Don't do the house, guys. That's creepy. Don't. That is so creepy. That is creepy. Okay, because we all know at the end of the day, we all know what the end goal is. We all know what the end goal is. But then again, you don't even know if this lady has an STD. You don't even know if she has something. You don't know. Don't be taking a stranger to your house. That's creepy. So,
fast food chain, no. Never heard of Buffalo Wings, Wingstop, or Red Lobster. Never heard of these places. The gym, so you can see her squat. Church, Starbucks. Come on.
take her to church so that you can cast the be like, see if she's got the, she can get the spirit of the Lord. You'd be like, hallelujah. And if she don't say hallelujah, no second date.
Coffee dates, ice cream dates are just like, no. Somebody invites you on a family function. It seems like he just wants to show his family that he is finally dating somebody. Movie night, again, so cheap, so low effort. Somewhere that requires a long drive. Just like, not necessary. Bowling, I mean, look at my nails. Like, come on. Nightclub, again, so inappropriate. Hookah bar, never been my thing. Bar for just drinks, so you can get her drunk and take her home. No. Waffle House, what is that? Sports events, really? Whoever created this list,
So then again, I'm gonna give you guys some tips. Because I think there's a lot of shallowness that goes on into this. There's a lot of shallowness that goes on into this. But I want to give you guys another take. So there's another take here from there's another take, and guys obviously gives their
this is a list
commenters here about
of all the places that wouldn't be acceptable on the first date. There's this.
So then again, let me give you guys my breakdown based off of this. I personally think I haven't been to the Cheesecake Factory, so I'm gonna be the first to say I haven't been to the Cheesecake Factory. Let me go ahead and put myself up here on the screen here really quickly, much better. So I personally haven't been to the Cheesecake Factory, so I can't necessarily say the Cheesecake Factory is, I just think at the end of the day, I think, all right, I'm gonna tell you guys what I think. So this is how I would, let's go over this and I'll tell you guys how to actually structure your first date. Okay. So one, Cheesecake Factory, I don't know. I personally would say it's all right, but I wouldn't go there initially. Applebee's, I've gone on Applebee's on a first date. Did it lead into anything? Not really. Chili's, that's not bad. It's just a place to eat. Chipotle is not bad. So whoever's hating on Chipotle, listen, if you're hating on Chipotle's not bad, okay? Olive Garden is actually not good. Not bad. The movies, like I said, no movies, so strike that out. Your house, strike that out. Any fast food chain, I would do McDonald's and all that stuff. Buffalo Wild Wings, that's not bad. Wingstop, that's actually not bad. I love wings. Red Lobster, I don't know what this is. I think this is an element to contain, to convey something bougie, but yeah. A buffet. Listen, listen, I love me some buffet because you can eat seafood, you can eat some fried food, you can eat everything all at the same time. So when whoever's telling you trash about buffet, okay, I don't know what to tell you. You shouldn't be going the first day with that person. Begin IHOP. I'm personally not a big fan of IHOP, so I can't really say I'm not. Denny's, the gym. I've never gone on a first date to the gym. I just don't think it's unless it's because usually if you're going to a first date to the gym, someone who you really legitimately do not want to have any interest in, because all you're doing is just sweat, right? Church, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Feel it. No, actually, I don't think church is actually. Starbucks actually is not bad. Coffee dates, not bad. Ice cream. Listen, go get some ice cream. Family functions, never really done that. Movie night, don't do movies. Somewhere that requires long drive, don't do somewhere. That's just creepy. Especially don't know this is that's creepy. Don't be a creep. Bowling's not a bad first date. I would actually say bowling is actually not a bad first date. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually build a first date off of this list. And you're gonna be like, what? And then somewhere that requires a long drive, bowling, nightclubs, don't do nightclubs, hookah bar. I'm not a hookah person, so I won't do that. Bar, just drinks, Waffle House, sport events. All right. So I'm gonna tell you guys how you actually structure a first date. So here's the thing. When you structure a first date, what do most women have a rule of, I got to do 2-3 dates, get to know this guy, right? Usually what I say, what helps your chances with solidifying a relationship is the goal of a first date is for her to get to know you, who you are as an individual, right? Now, it's very hard to get to know somebody just over food. You need to get to know the person, how they interact with others. So she's watching how you interact with other people, how you interact with her, how you interact is in general with your environment. So just going to eat alone is not necessarily a first date. So what I'll tell you guys is based off the list. I would say structure a date from 6 to 10 p.m. 4 hours. You want to block out 4 hours. You're like, whoa, I was told 45 minutes. No, block out 4 hours, right? Because the main thing is you want to basically, the goal of the date is for you to also have fun, not just to get to know the person. You got to do something that you would naturally do. So I would say block out 6 to 4, right? If you work, predominantly you want to kind of get some, get some time, kind of break up and get some time in. So what I would say ideally is a first date. We're going to go off of the list. Now I can, dive into other ones, but we're going to go off the list. So the list says, so the first thing first you want to do is this, is you want a full stomach. Okay. That's then you need energy, right? So let's assume you just get back from work. So the first thing you want to do is you want to eat. Okay. So you need to go, you're going to go into basically 3 things. Okay, you're gonna use the 3 E's. Okay, the 3 E's. I'm gonna type them out here because guys, you guys are pretty much getting all this live. So the first one you need is you need to eat. Okay, so the first thing first is you need to eat. Okay, food is one. Okay, now after eating, the next thing you need is you are going to need after eating, you're going to need where it basically is called. So after eating, okay, you're going to need to give an experience. Okay. All right. I spelled this wrong, but let's pull this up, you guys, because you guys know I'm pulling this up. So the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need an experience. Okay. So you're going to need to give this individual an experience, right? So food, let's say you could go to Applebee's. You could go to Cheesecake Factory. Go there at 6 o'clock, eat for an hour. Okay. Hour and a half. Talk, get to know each other. The next place you're going. So ideally, because the reason why you want to do this is now this might work. Then again, communicate with the individual, go whatever it is, whatever your counterpart is comfortable with. If she's not comfortable with this, then by all means go what's comfortable. You want to make sure she's comfortable the whole time. Don't be creepy, don't be weird. The goal of me giving this advice to you is basically you're a single individual and you want to basically find a partner, right? So you want to ideally say, she's like, all right, I'll meet you there. You're like, unfortunately, you can't because we're going to be going to 3 different places. So it's preferably if we use one car or we probably Uber. All depends, right? So which one are you comfortable with? She goes, okay, that's fine. You can pick me up or I'll Uber to you. And then from there, if she doesn't want you to know where she lives, she's like, that's fine. She's like, I'll Uber to you. And then from there, we can just go from there. Okay, good. So that's an element of trust. So when you eat, the goal is to build trust, understand and build trust. That's the most important thing. In sales, people buy from who they like and who they trust. So the most thing she has to understand that you're not a creep that's gonna, do something crazy. So the first thing first, you want to build trust. So first thing first, you want to go get some food. You want to eat. Okay. So boom, Cheesecake Factory. Go to Cheesecake Factory. And if she says, I don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory, take her home and say, ma'am, bye-bye. And then continue swiping. Just kidding. Don't do that. I love this. So first thing first is you want to go ahead and you want to go basically get some, go eat. Okay. So after eating, what is the next thing that you want to do? The next thing you want to do is you need experience, right? So experience means after eating, she's like, all right, what's next? You want to go somewhere that requires movement, agility, right? You can go axe throwing, you can go axe throwing, you can go what else you go? Axe throwing, bowling, play pool. You can go play anything that requires an environment. Like ideally, you want to go somewhere where either it has preferably a bar, but it also has bar games, stuff that you could do. You can do anything. You can go. Just main thing is you need to pick something that requires you guys to interact on a more, not just sitting down, but actually moving. Because when you move, you actually generate energy. When you generate energy, you generate emotions, right? So she starts to relate some sort of emotion to you. Okay, so it's very important you keep that in mind. So you want to go somewhere like somewhere that you go move. Yeah. Then after that, you want to go ahead and next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and get entertainment, right? That's 30. So eat, experience, entertain, right? So entertainment could be, you probably sit at the bar and you just watch something on the bar, and then while you guys just have a small conversation for like another hour. Now in the date, should you kiss? If it's something that you guys are comfortable with and you've actually understood she's comfortable. If there's something that's interested in, me talking about when is the first time you actually go for the first date, the kiss on the first date, comment below. And if you comment below, I'll go ahead and cover that. All right. But comment below and say, hey, I'm going to read the comments. And if someone's like, hey, I want to actually I'm going to go ahead and cover that, but necessarily not right now. Okay. So if you've gone there, yeah, absolutely. Should I think body contact is important? Yes. But also you should have understood who you're dealing with from the first eating space. If she's somebody who doesn't like body contact, then, and she still doesn't like in the experience phase, then that's not somebody, then by the third phase, maybe she's warmed up, but then again, it's kind of, you got to be careful because we live in an era where you don't know who you're dealing with, so you got to tread carefully, right? But you should also be feeling the vibe. So eat, experience, entertain, right? So experience, and the entertainment part, you're just relaxing, entertaining, talking about stuff and all that stuff. Now, if you guys have kissed by this point, sure. If it is, sure. But then necessarily there's people that get aggressive and start pushing for sex and pushing for I then again, what that is telegraphing is everything you've done up until that point is just not necessarily being genuine, and you were basically pretending from the beginning, right? You have to understand that you want to interact with somebody to a position which, don't be in a position in which you're a weirdo. Okay? If it happens based off of you being two consensual adults, yeah. But if it doesn't happen, don't force it. Don't, because you force it, you're going to get yourself in trouble. So, yeah, go talk. If it's a sport event, go. Whatever it is, relax and talk about stuff. But then again, she's gotten to know you. She's gotten to see how you interact with people on the experience side. And she's also gotten to see how you interact, on the entertainment part. And she's gotten to see you after events that you're not a stressed out individual and you're also a relaxed individual. Now, after that, you go, take her off, drop her off at home. Or if she's like, or get an Uber to go back home, right? But or if you've already been drinking, then don't drive. Drop her back off. I don't drink, so technically, a bar would not really like it's water. Drop her back off, and don't go to bars intent of getting anybody drunk. That's just weird. That's creepy, and you have to think about it from a perspective as to remember. I'm going to say this again. Don't make decisions that you're going to end up putting yourself in trouble in the future. All right? Remember, you're dealing with an individual. It means things you want to make sure that they're comfortable for the most part. But leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this. That's my breakdown of the Cheesecake Factory video from the Cheesecake Factory lady. Okay? But that's pretty much what I got for you guys today. So don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you're on Spotify, please do me a favor and hit the follow button. And obviously, guys, this is all I have for you for today. And obviously, like I want to say,